Right, I think we're live. Hello, everyone. Another episode of Airfix and Chill tonight. Only 4 of us in because some of you may know that some of us went to the Spitfire Press Day in New Haven, where they are manufacturing the brand new 1 to 24 scale Spitfire. And myself, Pascal Camus was there, Matt from Model Minutes was there, Gary from Gary's Stuff was there. I'm trying to think who else. The model officer, he was there as well, and I think it was a guy called Dave's on Wheels or something. I think he's called. He was there as well, and there was Tamiya magazine was there. Airfix magazine was there, Phoenix Scale Modeling was there, Models for Heroes were there, which was good because they explained how their charity works and was asking if we would support them. And as channel creators, we said we would, and magazines said they would as well. And hopefully, I'm going to try and get them on so they can talk a bit about their what they do, because some of the stories they were sharing was absolutely phenomenal. So, but anyway, in the chat, we've got tonight Sprue and Glue. Hello, Dave. You all right, my friend? Is he listening? Are you there, Sprue and Glue? I don't think he's there. Hope he's all right. Anyway, Hamish, you're on the chat there. How are you doing, my friend? All right?
I'm living the dream. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. What are you building tonight?
I've got the Airfix boomerang, like the vintage classics one.
Oh, you got that when it got released, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that. It's a nice kit.
Yeah.
It's lacking cockpit.
That's all the vintage stuff, though, isn't it?
Oh,
True.
I
it's
just
all
did
about
the
cockpit, isn't it?
I just did the G50, and that has the same no cockpit, but I really enjoyed it.
Did you get on with it? Did you all right?
Yeah.
Is that the Fiat G50, yeah?
Yeah. That's what I've done as
Yeah.
today's video, and I really enjoyed doing it. A really fun little build. I really like the vintage classics because they're just so simple.
That's right, yeah. You don't have to worry too much, do you? You just, it's almost like a submarine, 2 halves put together, 2 half wings, and then you're done.
Not that you would
Don't
ever
mention
say
the
that
submarines. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was really good. I saw there was some, really good chats. I'm just uploading a video now, and because the title of this Sprue Airfix and Chill is No Pilot, because Airfix did not put a pilot in the 1 to 24 scale kit, and
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought it was very interesting. Their thoughts on that. They basically have said, it's. I'll play the video clip anyway. So it's not as easy as you can make out. It's an expense, and basically they wanted to keep the kit under the £100 mark, which I think they've done really well to do. It's a lot of pieces there. Yeah, it was good. Anyway, right, in the chats we've got right, let's have a look then, shall we? We've got Graham Pierce, nice to see you. Candy Graham for Mongo, hi Dave, nice to see you too. Sprue and Glue's in the chat, obviously. To Boldy Go, nice to see you, my friend. Going down 420 scale models in the chat as well. I'm really well, thank you very much. Fenris Hunter, hi. Robert Pearson's in the chat. Plastic Monkey's in the chat. Nice to see you. Matika's Model Bow, good evening to you. Jared's in the chat. Jeff 72's in the chat. Celtic West, he's in the chat as well. Now, he's just started building that Katie at the last Model Club, which was last Tuesday. He started building up there, which was brilliant. So hopefully we'll see a build on that. When Welly's in the chat. Erwin's in the chat. Nice to see you. Tigers is in the chat as well. What's he writing there? Did you request a free sample of each sprue today? I certainly did. I've come away with one piece of everything that I was able to smuggle in my bag, including the box and instructions and a decal sheet. Dan Ushers, evening fellas, Felix, whatever else you want to be. Nice to see you. Jeff Light's in as well. Just scrolling down through. Robbie's in the chat. Nice to see you. I think Brett's in the. Bren. Hi, nice to see you, my friend. Rochefort's in the chat. Luke Island's in the chat. And who's that saying? Robbie456. Is Airfix Bears team quick? They are. But what I suggest is that when you look at the box or the kit, well, I've got one here. I've got one here. So hang on. I'll show you what you need, because you need this. They take a bit longer. Here you go. So when you sign the form and everything, there's a little sticker on the back. They need that number, which will be MIC07 PO1000. And then it's the A02108, and they just put that. They want a picture or the numbers that are on that label, so then they can go back and see if there's a problem with that. So, yeah, so that's basically that. You know, they want to know that. But yeah, it was really, really interesting to see the well, you know, I don't really remember Bertha. You know, the old cartoon of the machine, and you program it and out popped out what you want. So they had like about 8 or 9 Berthas there, and then they had all, you know, basically put the tooling in. But it was really exciting to see. You know, I did put up a few shorts. So if you go on the channel and look at the shorts, there's some shorts there, because basically all the sprues are all in different boxes, and then they take one from each box, put it in. But it was just really, really good. And they answered loads of questions, which hopefully when you'll see my video will come up. But are you a pilot person, Hamish, or do you rather just have it with landing gear down and not bother with the pilot?
Well, it's 50-50 to be honest, because with this I'm putting the pilot in because the cockpit's got nothing else in it. But with, I don't know.
But would you have the carriage down, or would you have the undercarriage up if you have a pilot in it?
Well, it depends, to be honest. It depends where I'm going to store it, really. If I'm like garage gear up, the pilot's obviously going in it. But if the gear's down, then the pilot's like, it's 50-50 whether I can be asked to paint the pilot. It's kind of where I'm at. Kind of evil.
What about you, Lexi? Are you a pilot in or pilot out?
Pilot in.
You like the pilots in, do you?
I do. I think it adds a lot of character and charm.
Does it? So you paint them well and get them looking pretty smart.
Yeah, I hated it initially when I started doing it. I think most people do. And then once I had done it a couple of times, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad.
So would it put you off buying a kit if it didn't have a pilot in it?
No, because I always have them in the spares box.
Yeah.
Hey, same.
Definitely. Just looking in the chat there, I can see Plastic Alchemist. Hi, Plastic. Are you popping in tonight? I've sent a link and put it in Discord if you want to pop in and have a chat. Fenris Hunter. Pilot in, undercarriage up, hanging from the ceiling is my preference. Otherwise, I like pilot out when the undercarriage is down, unless I also have other figures. That's a fair shout. He's in bed. He's in the hotel bed listening to us. Oh, bless him. He's got his wife, isn't he, there as well? So, we won't interrupt. Jeff72, drop the pilot. Drop the pilot. So quite a lot of people there are saying dropping the pilot. I thought it was interesting. Can I upload that?
Unfortunately not. No, absolutely. So we did do it the undercarriage up because it's not a lot more effort for us to do that. It's not a lot more expensive.
Can everyone hear that in the chat? Is that loud enough for you? So, and on YouTube, can you hear what's being said? They're talking about the pilot here and why I don't put a pilot in. So, in the chat, can you just say, if I play it, if you can't hear it, just put thumbs down. If you can hear it, just put thumbs up.
To do that at all. Because the door part can be the same, the wheel can be the same. For us, it's just a different leg. There's only 2 extra parts in the whole kit to be able to carriage up. But adding a pilot is quite a lot more money, quite a few more thousand to our production, because I am not a sculptor. If I tried to, it would look like a Lego man. It's just not my skill. So we'll do that. We'll send that out of house to somebody who is skilled, and it costs a lot of money to do that. It's a lot of effort. We have done the Typhoon, did a pilot, and for that we printed out I think it was like 4 times scaled up version of the cockpit, sent it to a sculptor, who then made the pilot to fit inside that space, which then had to be scanned and scaled back down again to put into the mold. And unfortunately for people who like to add the pilots, we just didn't see any with it built, really. Maybe a few, but for the extra thousands of pounds that it added to the cost of the production, I don't think we sold any more, is the reality. And that's realistically the tipping point. Like, is it commercial sense to spend these £1,000 because we'll make that back, or does it make? If we didn't do it, does it make any difference?
So that's really interesting. I don't know whether you heard that. It was quite clear enough. It's not just you LiDAR scan something and then you do it. Basically, what they're doing is they actually ask a sculptor to create a pilot in that position, and then they probably then 3D scan that pilot and then shrink it all the way down, and then have to then create the pilot and then add it to the tooling, and you could be adding an extra £10,000 to a tooling just to have the pilot. And remember, 124, that's a big lump, isn't it? You think about the size of it, So I think that's a hell of a big lump of plastic to design and put into a kit.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things at the moment is that they are conscious of pricing, because kits are expensive at the moment. So, but let's hear what Dale has to say about this as well. Hopefully you can hear what Dale says.
Add to that as well, there's a lot of positive comments about the price point. We've made a conscious effort to keep it under £100 and under £100 for as long as possible, hence 95, not 99. And I guarantee you, if you had included a pilot, I would have had to have over 100. Based on our commercial rules and guidelines and stuff, and payback and everything else, so it would have to go over. So, for those that want pilots, sorry, wasn't included. You're going to have to go elsewhere and find some pilots. But for those that don't, well done. You've got a kit for 10, 15 quid less. So it's one of those compromises, unfortunately. That's not to say that the next super kit, 24 scale, whatever scale we do, won't include pilots. It's something that we constantly review every kit.
I think for these larger scales, the detail for the pilot would have to be a lot more. I would have to fit in well. Whereas some of the starter kits, it doesn't really matter if the hands are on the controls or not at that sort of scale. So we can use our data for other models and move it into that one, because it generally fits, but you couldn't get away with that at this scale, which is why you might see it on some smaller scales. But
So that's quite interesting as well. The fact that at the 24 scale, it's going to take a lot, and you can't just take one like from another 72 and blow it up. It's the detail's got to be there, hasn't it? And then somebody asked this question, which I thought was quite interesting.
And in fact, there's no stands these days. A lot of them still cry about that, don't they? No stands. You get me wrong, but you don't been there for.
Could we use the Typhoon pilot in the Spitfire?
Yeah, so basically the chap asked, could you use the Typhoon pilot in it? And he's saying
controls are in different places, where the pedals are in slightly different places, so maybe, but you probably would end up having to do some fiddling with it as the final customer, like cut legs and adjust them potentially. It's an interesting question. It's a great question.
It's probably cool on the Sprue
through with other parts as well.
Yeah.
Right, one more.
Right. So yeah. So so the question was, can you another pilot? It wouldn't make sense. I think I can't remember what after something else I mentioned after. Just have a quick look.
Yeah.
Because the original on a has a special pilot made for it, so theoretically you should fit inside. Quick observation on the clear part, you roll into correct blown canopy. In the instructions it says there is a thin, very thin line, which also mould on just that way. So that if people make kids deal with it with sandpaper, they can't polish it down. So that's what
So basically, what the chap's saying, he was congratulating them on the design choice of the canopy. Now, as you know, to do the canopy with the bulge as big as it is, it would have to naturally have a seam. There's just no way around it. So what they did was they give you that option of if you want the proper canopy, but you're going to have to work at the seam line and polish it out, which isn't a big thing. There is a skill to it, and maybe if you first time you're building a Spitfire, that could be an option to do that. But like you're saying, if you get it wrong, you still got the backup one, which hasn't got a seam line, which isn't quite as bulgy. So use that instead. This is what he says.
Yeah, thank you.
Good
Yeah,
touch,
that was something which it felt kind of something we'd have to do right from the beginning. To be honest, it's like obviously there's a big chunk of that tool that have to do things, and you'll only ever use one of them. But it just doesn't quite look right without that undercut on the blown canopy. But yeah, quite tricky to then get rid of that seam line where those two slides have come together to create that outer shell. It's inevitable. You would end up with a seam line there. And then the one without the bone isn't too far off. I guess the clear kind of tricks your eye a little bit. And also it gives you an option, I guess, if somebody, you could use it as a masking part while you're spraying as well. Quite useful little additional bonus of having to like that. But no, thank you for noticing.
Yeah, we all noticed it.
Right, we have to stop there. But
And there you go. That was and I just thought the guy on the right is Chris. He's the designer of the Spitfire, and he actually did a talk on how he did it through lockdown, and he designed it at home, and then sent all the parts off to be 3D printed in resin. Obviously, 3D resin print. Came home and put it all together, and then started building it bit by bit, and then writing down different notes down on what could be done better here. But yeah, and the guy on the left is Luke, and Luke is the new researcher for Airfix. And because he's joined just as they were started to get this Spitfire together, and when they started doing it, Chris said he was so glad that Luke was there, because Luke actually went through and said, this is wrong, that's wrong, that needs to be this, that needs to be that. Luke does some real hard researching. And to be fair, when people knock Airfix about their not being accurate, I can't say in the last year that you're going to find a lot of kits aren't accurate now, because Luke does know his stuff, and he knows people, and he researches pictures and finds out why the picture was taken. And I think I've always said this, and people in the chat can knock me down when I say this. I'm pretty sure that if Airfix released a kit and put it in a Tamiya box, right, nobody would moan as hard about it. But because it's Airfix, people feel they have a moral obligation to moan hard about it. Do you know what I mean? I
agree.
I think they're doing a fabulous job. And what they shared today about the whole process was absolutely brilliant. So thoughts in the chat, people. What's your thoughts on No Pilot? Leave comments in the chat, and this thought about having two canopies. Was that a good idea or a bad idea? I see Rorex is in the chat again. Hi, Rorex. Are you home with COVID
Hello.
now, my friend?
Yeah, but I'm good.
Oh, you're not feeling too ill then, yeah?
No, not too well.
Not too bad.
Well, that's good.
Is it you got like chesty cough or you sneezing?
Yeah, small cough and a little bit of a headache. But I work in a hospital, so I'm not allowed to come in, of course.
Yeah. So how did you get on in America? Was it good over there?
Yeah, it was good. Apart from getting COVID there, but had fun though.
Yeah.
Although LA is a shitty, dirty city, and I wouldn't recommend the city itself to visit there because it's just a shitty city.
Yeah. Fair enough. I was just asking, are you a pilot man, Rorex, or are you you like?
Well, I fly sometimes, so no.
Very good.
But no. I want every plane that I make officially to have a pilot in it. But although a lot of kits don't include pilots, I'm collecting the pilots from certain kits that I don't care about that much, and I put those pilots mix and match them into planes where I definitely want pilots in that don't include a pilot.
Same.
So yeah, and it's a little bit crappy on one side. On the other side, it's nice because I got a whole box of pilots which I can use, and it's not your generic pilot that came with the kit. And I seldomly use the pilot that comes with that kit. It's always some other pilot, and I especially miss some modern pilots. And I got some helicopters that I want to do with pilots. So sometimes, so I'm using the Skyrated pilots for two of the Skyrated pilots for probably one of my Sea Kings and stuff like that. But I really hate it when they don't come with pilots.
You really hate it that they don't come with pilots.
Oh yes. Oh, it definitely gives one grade down to the kit already. It doesn't matter what type of kit it is. If it's marvelous and it doesn't have any pilot, I already have something against it.
Yeah, I get that. I'll just go through the chat a minute because quite a few people have commented. Let me just close this down because we don't need it now. Let's remove that. We don't need it now. Fenris has said, I get the no pilots, but it does make me slightly sad, but I get it. It is one of them. You know, you're trying to keep a kit under £100 mark, and like they're saying, to add a pilot to it, probably add an extra tenner, you know, because of all the R&D and all everything that goes in with it. Wayne Welly does not bother me about the pilot. Sorry,
one in 24 kit, then the pilot is of course needs a lot of detail and a lot of work on it. So I can imagine why they don't include it in that, because then probably the one who's buying it also wants something special and something. So aftermarket pilots, I can imagine why they don't include it in big kits like that.
Fair enough. James Willard writes, do any companies sell 1 to 24 scale pilot figures by themselves? There is. I can't tell you, but I'm pretty sure that someone who's watching this will look for you now and put it in the chat, a link to it. So, Taggers, I saw a comment on one YouTube video unboxing the split saying, good old Airfix goes from one plastic bag for all sprues to no bag with some sprues with some paper. Who was that, Taggers? Because I like the fact that all when they were boxing them up, so every sprue, there's 2 sprues to each bag, and there's one that's got 4 sprues in because there's 3 linked together, and because the ones was really big, they used paper just to cut down on the paper, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Paper is all right, you know, because the way the actual it isn't something for you. If you see the size of the Bentley 1 to 12 scale, you know, the Bentley car that they do, was it 1 to 16? Was it 1 to 12? I think it is. That's the exact same size box that they've used, and they created it to fit in that box, which is really good. And to add paper to it is not a bad thing. It really isn't a bad thing. So whoever said that, needs to have their head a wobble. Tiger, why not put the wings in separate bags or even each sprue in a bag? Some great new kits ruined by cheap plastic, bad molding, and unusual packaging. Right, let's get this thing right. When I was watching them pack today, when they put the sprues in the bag, when they seal that very end, it's tight. There should be hardly any. There's going to be a little bit. There's going to be not a lot of movement. And also, those bags are specially designed so that when they get it out of the machine, they check it over, and they put it straight in the bag. They seal it. So you shouldn't get where you get what they call when the plastic dries, it will suck in dust and moisture and stuff as it dries. But they seal it in those bags, and it shouldn't happen. This is the beauty about having it in the UK. If there's a problem quality control, they see it straight away. When I put the video up of the guy, the owner, I think his name was Mark. I think I've got his card in. There you go. Mark Thompson, the guy. They even label each bag of the date it was made. So if there is a problem, they can go back to that date because none of there's no problems up to that date. But if there's a problem that date onwards, they know where the problems are. The QC on this kit blows me away, and also if there's a problem, they're only down the road. So I don't see a bad thing having two sprues in each bag because they, when they put it in, they use this instead of it being folded over and then just loosely thing. It's actually quite tight. Actually, look at them. When I did the unboxing of the kit, which I got online now, you'll see that the actual sprues are really tightly packed in each bag. There shouldn't be any rubbing as such. And to be fair, I bought in there's a lot of kit manufacturers who don't do that. They're not all in separate bags. They all go, they start putting lots of sprues in bags. So, and also it's a cost thing as well. Two canopies is an excellent idea. If you mess up, you've got a spare. Yes, indeed. A lot of issues with Airfix in the past have been around QA, QC, poor tooling, and customer service. They have addressed in the main now, so hats off to them. Yeah, I was actually talking to one of the customer service girls, and I was just saying about returning something back. And they said that when they have training on a Thursday, Dale is so passionate that they've become quite passionate about the Airfix brand. They passionately want to get errors sorted, and that's what they do. Celtic West, I like the fact that Airfix making the kit in the country. It's actually made in the same factory as the company that does it is the same who do this, the quick builds. They do all the quick builds. So while we were there, we're seeing all these quick builds being created as well. It's the same company, and they denied whether to get it manufactured, and they felt because it's a super kit and it's a Spitfire, it should be made in the UK. And I think it's a really good, really good, a really good push. Now, I'm asking set a PE cockpit seat with belts. I asked the question about that, and they're not keen on it. And the reason is that when you have PE, you up the age of a kit, believe it or not. So at the moment, all these kits are for 8+. If you start putting photo etch and stuff in these kits, it could raise the age level on them. Just saying. And also, let Airfix concentrate on the kits, right? If you want PE and you want all these other things, give your money to those other companies to keep them employed. Do you see what I mean? So if you want, Edard, if Airfix start creating PE in all their kits, then Edard might not bother doing PE for them kits, if you see what I mean. So just let Sleeping Dogs lie, because I did ask that question. You'll see it in my video, because I will put all this up in one big little video. What happened today? Plastic Alchemist, for me, pilots are no issue, as I don't usually include them. Canopy is a great idea, as it pleases everyone. Correct. Jeff72, not too bothered about the pilot, and the two canopies are a good inclusion, just in case. Robbie, I think in future models I'll use every piece possible, but as a beginner who is building his first, I am taking the easy way out by putting no pilot and landing gear up. Right, fair enough, mate. You can do that. Fred saying hi, Mr. Smith. A pilot isn't necessary, in my honest opinion. It would have only taken away a lot of the cockpit detail, and that's what we found. Is it you, Lexi, that said that in Telford you went around and you saw very few pilots in the kits?
Yeah, there's
Was that
never
yours?
any at any shows.
Yeah, there's never any pilots because they want you to see the cockpit, don't they?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I think it's a shame sometimes. But I get it at the same time. I think particularly at larger scales, I get it. At 1/72, I feel like the cockpit's that small that, with some exceptions, most of the time I think a pilot just really adds to it at that scale. But on larger scales, I do get it. You want to show off.
I was just going to say was when I've not seen a pilot in a plane, there's been a few instances where because the pilot's in the seated position, they've had him sitting on something outside the plane, which I thought was a nice little trick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, where they like put a little box and the pilot's there smoking a fag or something, waiting to be called. If you know what I mean?
Something I want to do, right, is have the pilot sat on the wing.
Sat on the wing.
Like, you know, when the Airfix pilots have their hands on their laps. Like, if you've got one sat on the wing, it sounds like it'd be like. Hang on, I'm trying to find the words because I'm not very good at English. It'd be like a really interesting sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just to have that pilot just sat there doing his thing.
Well, I was saying, because I mentioned then there's no stands, is there? You know, people moan there's no stands, but Airfix do sell stands separate. Maybe it's something they could do, because I know when Tamiya, when you buy the 1:35 scale figures, they give you like 8 different figures. They're like the legs are separate, the body's separate, the arms are separate, and the head. And you can interlink which one you want, which position you want their hands, which position you want their feet. So that might be an option for Airfix in the future to bring out, you know, like they do with their figures, bring out pilots that you can mix and match depending on where you want them. That might be a good little thought about, you know. I'd rather throw the pilot away and put scratch-built harnesses on show. Fair enough. Tyler probably would not have figures in the kit. After a while, you would not have pilots for the spares box. Yeah, that's what you said, Rorex, innit? And Lexi said the same. On a big scale at 124, I'd rather see aircraft controls and functions. That's a good chat, actually. 420 scale models. Here we go. It starts already. Hey Moz, with your Unreal printer, be able to make one. I'll tell you an update about that in a minute, all right? Matt's in the chat. Hello, Matt. If you're able to pop on tonight, let me know, mate. I think you just must have got home now because I only got home about an hour and a half ago, and you've got another hour on top of my journey because you only live up the road for me, but you'll struggle with that. Captain VFC is not in the hangout tonight because he's a lard ass. He's gonna like duck in the chat. He said tonight. Matt, what do you think of the day? You should put some comments down. That'd be really good in the chat if you want to. Just explain how you felt the day went for you, and include you, Plastic, if you're still there. Put some comments in the chat. My favorite model YouTuber at Model Minutes. Bless. Get a room. He's a Tamiya fan. Planes are designed to fly, so display my planes flying from a little human number 4 bedroom ceiling. So like pilots, but not a great deal breaker. If I like it, I will build it. Brilliant. Oh, Anfield's in the chat. Hello, Anfield. I must send you an email next week. Come on the chat next week, Anfield. I'll send you an email. I forgot to do it tonight. 124 Spitty was beautifully packaged. I like the paper dividers too. I agree. I thought it was. Did you see the embossing on the bottom of the box? The guy who made the boxes for Airfix said, I've got this new tool, I want to try it out. So that's why he embossed the bottoms of the box with the Airfix logo, and it was a really nice little look as well. The paper seems a good idea from Darren Marsh. Big sprues don't have any small bits to lose. Correct. And it was basically the fuselage and the wing, you know, the underside of the ring. Captain Bessie, I jest, of course, everybody's equally lovely. Good on you. Diana Chef, I want a pilot, always use an aftermarket pilot. Yeah, that's true. There's some really good aftermarket pilots there. It's going down through. I suspect the cost differential between UK and India manufacture has come down quite a bit with shipping costs now, and that's before you even get to quality control. Exactly, and you should see them. They've got 2 people working on the quality control, and basically what they do is they get the sprue, right, and then they spray it in this really hard green, and then they put it in a little tray. Then when they pull out the next sprue, which is grey coloured, they put it on top, and they can physically see if there's a problem between. They have to judge it between the 2, and because it's green, it pops. If there's something wrong, you can clearly see if it's like a bit missing or it's short shot. They can see it really well, and it is. And also, they can. All they have to do now, instead of going to India and say, we want 5,000 Spitfires, and then they've got to wait for them to load up the container, then load up the other container with other models, then ship it all in one go. But here, if they said to the company, Plastech, we want another 500 Spitfires this week, all they have to do is put that tool in their mold machine, set it up, and they can bang out 500. Easy peasy. Really interesting, that. Really interesting. How can an aircraft in flight look good without a pilot? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I get that too. Hobby Time's in the chat. Nice to see you, my friend. It was certainly an interesting experience going to the factory today. And do you know what? I don't know whether Matt, are you going to get a job there, Matt? Because what I saw you do today, you were really good at it. You should keep doing what you were doing. Watch his video, he'll explain why. Classic Alchemist is struggling to keep up with the internet. Well, you are in a trouble lodge. Dan Usher, resin pilots are more detailed than the plastic ones and in most work scale, correct. Model minutes, PE is a pain quite often. Yeah, it is. And we did hear that they said that a lot of people don't like the PE in the kits. Do you use PE at all, Hamish? Do you use PE at all?
So I've got some for an Airfix Sea King, and I've got a few other kits. But basically, I'm just too scared to start using it. I'm sure once I get going with it, I'll be happy to do it. It's just like that initial leap. It's the same with using all techniques for me. I just get too nervous about doing it, and I end up putting it off for.
I'd say it's annoying rather than difficult. I wouldn't be scared of it. It's just more annoying than difficult, I'd say.
Yeah, it's just that I don't want to fuck it up. Oh, sorry, pardon my language.
That's fine. It's fine. Well, I don't see you. Sprue and Glue, what about you, mate? I see you back in the chat now. Sorry, you must have had internet problems again, I guess. Has he still got internet problems? Are you there? I can't speak. All right, mate, no worries. You're just listening in, are you, my friend? Type it in the chat if you want. If you can't hear, we can't hear you. You must have a problem. What about you, Rorex? Are you the kind of person, if you see a kit has got photo etch, you kind of shy away from it, or do you go for it with the photo etch?
Well, most of the kits that I have are quite old and old tooling, but I got in my stash a few with PE though, but I haven't started with those yet, so can't say anything about it yet.
Okay.
But I would dare, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of any kit.
Yeah. Model Minutes is basically just reiterating what was said today, like I was in the video. The problem with molding a pilot is that all cockpits are different, and it's possible to smush a human into a shape of a cockpit. In model form, it isn't so easy. That's right. Therefore, was to design a new kit, they also have designed the pilot to fit the cockpit every single time. Yeah, I've played the video, Matt, of Chris explaining that and the costings it costs as well. Having to sculpture a pilot is the thing. Right. I think we've going through. Does anyone know if a 40 milliliter Humber acrylic paint for £1.50 at my local model shop is a good deal? Bloody good deal. Buy the shop.
Just support your local model shop, innit?
Yeah, that's
Keep them
it.
open.
Yeah,
Because you'll
definitely.
regret it if they're closed.
It's not like you
Yeah.
can buy Humbrol paints from like a major store like Hobbycraft anyway. So
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, try and get a humble paint from a trade show as well, from a model show. Taboli Ghost, I think the 124 scale Mozzie had a pilot on that. It did, but also they did say that when they do their next super kit, they're not necessarily not going to do a pilot with it. It's just this time they didn't bother. They tried to keep the price under 100 quid. Fair enough. What's that? LOL, you've had it all day about a printer. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that bloody printer. Oh, yeah. I would definitely be downloading the software what they've done is today they've actually sent me a link to an updated iOS. So there must have been a problem with that software that they've now shipped that printer out, and there's going to be a lot of people who can't use it. You know what I mean? Which is a real, But then so you ring up Humbrol and they'll send you a link. I think what they'll do is I think they'll set up a page. I think will be the best thing, and they'll just say when you buy this, here's the software. You know what I mean? To download it from there. Sully's in there. Hi, Sully. You coming on tonight, or are you just watching? Yeah, connect myself, pal. Yeah. What's that, Tiger? I see Humbrol's trying really hard to keep the cost down on that 3D printer. Ooh. I've done the software tonight. I'll do a video this week, right? Just going on through. The real question is, if Brian Blessed as low when you have a normal conversation? I don't understand. You have to explain that one to me. I thought the day
Brian
was
Blessed is
enjoyable.
that actor that always screams.
Yeah, Brian. I thought the day was very enjoyable with lots of behind-the-scenes stuff that you don't normally see from a manufacturer. Yeah, I thought that and me, Matt, when we did the tour with Mark, he was so passionate about Airfix because he was a model kit builder. And if you watch the first series of the Modeling World series that was out last year, he does explain then that he actually went to Airfix and said, "I want to build some kits for you." And then got him to do the quick builds, and that's what they've been doing ever since. All the quick builds, which is brilliant. For production costs, it does make sense to tool and include a pilot and a stand in the kit, which maybe 50% of the builders will use. Exactly. Plastic Rights, the day was incredible and a great insight on how kits produce and quality control. Yeah, I think that's good. Does it Lex Edmonds in? Nice to see you, my friend. And then Taboli Girl says, basically anyone who says a bad word about it has no words. I kind of agree. I'm not sure they would give me a job anytime soon. I was a bit slow at filling the box. Yeah, it was quite cool. PE. I dislike PE and won't get it. But if it's in the kit, I feel obliged to use it. But I think it should be one of those things. If you want it, you can get it third party. I think that's what it's to do. Would you buy third party, Lexi, or not?
If I wasn't such a cheap bitch, then yeah. I think that's like for me. I don't really buy anything aftermarket really. I think there are a couple examples where I might end up doing it, but I'm just normally like I have pilots. I don't need to do it. If it doesn't fit, I'll chop the legs off or something and just make it fit. So it's just I can never be bothered to buy pilots for it.
What about PE? Would you buy PE for a kit?
I'd rather not. No. I mean, I've done little bits on this, but I absolutely hate it with a passion. To be perfectly honest.
You do, yeah. That's fair enough. Also, we're going to have the king of the weathers here, the weathering king, Sully. Here we go. You ready? What he says? I love PE. If you're worried, Hamish, get some cheap and try it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to do another layer of paint on the Sea King, but I've got the super glue for it. Yeah, I got the glue you guys recommended in the Discord. But I've just got to paint the Sea King.
I think what's he called? Nigel Scale Modelling recommends a black one as well. It gives you an extra 10 or 12 seconds before it sets, which is good. But also, when you use super glue on it, always use some accelerator, which is what I've got here actually, because I found it the other day. That's a really good one. It's called InstaSet. It's foam safe as well, but you get some super glue and just whack it on it. It cures it in seconds. It's brilliant stuff. Really, really good. Yeah, keep it local with that. Celtic P. Oh, I've got that. PE is fine. I would use resin, scratch or anything else to get the result I want. As I always, your kit, your rules. Exactly like that. What about if Airfix released a 3D printer file of a pilot for those who want one? Because it wouldn't look good. This 3D printer is no good for that. Really isn't. Matt, what did you say about print? If you wanted functionality, you use filament. If you want detail, you use resin. I think that's what he said.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Dan Usher, did you ask about the Bearcat then, Moss? Well, I did. I did, right? Here's something for you. You're not going to believe this, right? Because it blew me out of the water. Luke said it has come up in conversation before about doing a Bearcat. But, he said, they're actually 5 years in front. He's working on stuff now for 2027. 2027.
2007? Is he going
2020, yeah. He's doing stuff for 2027. Isn't that amazing? He's doing research now on kits. But he did say that schedule can be manipulated if need be. So I'm still on for this Bearcat.
So basically saying keep kicking a stink about it.
Yeah. I can't see why they haven't done it. They say, when they talk about how they choose kits, they say openly, we look for like gaps in the market. Well, there's a fucking huge gap there. Honestly, there's a massive.
There's so many things that could be done that people just don't think of. They've got a pea shooter as well, like the P26. I haven't seen a kit for one of those in a while. HG112, and I would say HG111, but that's just right.
HH3, the Jolly Green Giant. There's only old Ravel one and another one.
BV23 as well. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah. There are a lot of kits that don't have a lot of
representation.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, when I told him, he told me that. I didn't. I thought they're like 2 years in advance. You know what I mean? But to do 5 years, that's hella, isn't it? If you think about it, that is hella. So
I don't know about hella. I'm pretty sure it's Airfix, but
maybe.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's impressive that they think 5 years ahead, don't they? So Sprue Cutters had to go because he got bad internet. So Boldly Go says, does the peg fit, Moss? Feck off. Model officer, it's all about what you want from a build. PE, resin, or scratch building. Having in a kit should be optional. I get that. Here you go. Matt's repeated himself here. Resin, detail, filament is more for moving parts and things. So, time travel. Got to shoot, speak soon, got a data with daddy. Got a date with daddy, though who know. Oh yeah, fair enough, mate. I understand. So what you're saying at the moment, the Bearcat won't be until 2028. No, I'm not saying that at all. There's no way that he was, because I said to Luke on LinkedIn as a joke, I went Bearcat, and as I sent it, He was at Duxford and he filmed the Bearcat flying off or taking off, I think it was. I was like, oh, that Bearcat. Because that one in Duxford is stunning. Have you seen the one in Duxford? Has any of you seen that one in Duxford?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, I think it was in the hangar when I went up there.
Even
I've
the
seen it a
pilot,
lot flying.
yeah. Even the pilot says that's his favourite plane to fly, isn't it?
Yeah,
When he
of course,
flies
a
in
lot of power.
Mm.
Everyone wants a
Because
bit of
it
speed and
was,
power.
yeah, because it was just after the Second World War, of course.
Mm.
Was it just after or was it the tail end?
Yeah, just after. The
It was.
winter.
It was launched
It was
in 44,
Korea
wasn't
and
it?
Vietnam with the French.
Yeah. It was never used really for end of the war, was it? It was more for the Korean War, I think.
Yeah, Korean War and Vietnam War of the French.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Let's just going down through. We need a Blackburn in a 1-48 at least.
Blackburn 5.
Blackburn. Yeah, okay.
You've got the Blackburn Rock as well, which is the Defiant but Navy.
You said that, didn't
Yeah.
you?
But a little bit more ugly, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and
More fun to
Mon's
build
right
in.
there. Matt's right there. They said that they hinted that a 124th Spitfire may be released with parts for a Mark 8 in the future. Did they mention the rear wheel or something, didn't they? On the landing gear or something or other about that. How about Airfix do what do with Paints website? Don't include them in the kit, but have an option to add additional things to the kit. Stand, FE, pilot, or PE, pilot, could even be a motor. I get where they come from. I think they want us to go to the companies that specialize in it. Because if you want PE, you can get PE, can't you? That's
There's
the
no
beauty
shortage
of
of it. There's
it.
loads
There
of
is
it
no
around.
shortage. No. You know, even Scale
You got-
Model Hanger, Scale Hanger 182 now is actually producing his own resin stuff now, resin wheels, and they look pucker. So why would Airfix invest time, energy into doing that when there are people out there who could probably do it better?
I mean, Edward do one for basically every kit, don't they?
They do, yeah. Well, that's what they're in for, isn't it? You know.
It's like they make their own kits to fund the PE.
So, Captain VFC, who set mods on the Bearcat again? I'm taking a shot every time that word is used, but I have to go to work tomorrow. You ready? Here we go then. Bearcat. Sacked in the morning.
You're not going
Sacked
in.
in the morning. Brilliant.
Their own fault.
But there could be a Bearcat. Who knows? I talk to Luke about it often.
You'll probably make one just to make you shut up.
I think they are building it. I think there's going to be a German, brand new tooling of a German plane. I reckon it's got to be Messerschmitt from Airfix. What
No,
scale?
Heinkel.
I don't know. Do you reckon the Heinkel, do you?
No, I just want a Heinkel.
You want a Heinkel? Why
It's in the name, innit?
Why do you
Well, I've got to be honest. It's kind of part of the brand. I couldn't think of anything else that began with H to go with Hamish, so I just went Heinkel.
Whoa.
But I could have gone with Hurricane or something else. But I just went Heinkel, and I don't really know why.
Well, you've had 3 or 4 channels, so you'll probably change your name again, wouldn't you?
Maybe. I can't really be asked to rebrand everything.
No. Models, Matt just said, I'll wet myself if the next 1/24 scale kit they do is the Bearcat. It won't be. It won't be. They've got the Hellcat and they're happy with that Hellcat. It's going to have to be something German. Or what about Modern Jet, a 124 EE Lightning? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. How many 124 EE Lightnings are there out there? And that wouldn't be too easy. That would be a proper good kit to build. A 124.
Yeah, but they'd probably do a Sabre or something, right?
They'll do a Second World War one, obviously.
kind of
Yeah,
Airfixes.
probably a Meteor or a Saber if they're doing a jet in that
Yeah.
scale. That's more popular,
Sabers
I
are cool.
think.
I think
Yeah.
the Lightning's. I think the Lightning's a popular kit. They've sold loads of Lightnings over the years.
But only in Britain, probably.
I don't know.
Or more in
I'm not-
Britain.
It kicked the ass of the Russian and the Americans at the time. They lauded that. Lightning.
Yeah, true, but a lot of people think it's an ugly plane, so and they must market
Well,
it,
those
so
people are wrong.
probably yeah, of course they're wrong. But
Wrong. It's not an ugly
yeah,
plane
of
at
course
all.
they're wrong. But a lot of people are wrong. But I think because of the Meteor, which had a more broad sales in other air forces, and the same with the Saber, and the Saber also had Korean and stuff like that. I think they probably use that one more for a kit like that than the Lightning.
Well, that was kind of my thought. Was, in all fairness, think of planes, right? So they've done the Spitfire, and the decals have got English, American, French schemes, haven't they? Is that right?
Yeah.
So why don't they produce? So that's what they've done. So if they produced another plane, what other plane is there out there, or jet, they could do, which will have English, American, and one other decal scheme? That's what they need,
Phantom?
isn't it? The Phantom. That's a good
Vampire?
So did
Vampire,
the Americans have the Vampire? Did the Americans have the Vampire?
No, but
Swedish
pretty much
did, though.
everyone else did.
Yeah, we're trying to think.
Swedish.
So if they're going to do it, they would probably do it so they can get as many schemes out of that kit in it when they release it again, rebox it. I'm trying to think, because
But the Saber,
the Saber, yeah, there was the English had the Saber, didn't they?
The Canberra.
the Canberra, but then they must do RB75. What was it? 57.
Yeah,
57.
Yeah, some different bits on it though.
yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
You know what would be
Zero.
cool was
What's that?
if you could get I can't remember his name. I think it's Dave, isn't it, from Airfix? Is it Dave?
Dale.
Okay.
Dale.
Dale, yeah.
Yeah.
If you could
Yeah.
get him on one of these, I think
Yeah.
that'll be a really interesting stream if he gets on one of these.
So
Yeah,
it'll
it
just
would
be
be.
Moz the whole time going. So when's the Bearcat coming?
Yeah,
When's it
well,
coming?
it will at least let it trend.
That'll be.
I've only
I think that'll be a.
I think you're all harsh on me. I've only got a couple of bugbears with Airfix. I haven't got that many bugbears. I think I'm an apologist for Airfix. I got rose tinted glasses with Airfix. Be honest
See,
with
I
you.
just want unique things,
Yeah.
stuff you
Unique
just
that
don't
they would
see.
sell. Yeah.
Yeah, true. We'll just release one unique thing a year. Everything else could be
Yeah.
Spitfires and Messerschmitts
That's what
or
KP
Mustangs
models
and
are for.
P40s.
Yes, right. Yeah. Like I said, the only other bugbear I've really got is that they have got the most phenomenal range of starter sets with the shittiest glue going. Put the precision poly in, you know. So they'll put when Models for Heroes was talking. I forget that. But when before I go to Models for Heroes talking as well, they were showing 8 like pictures of people building models. Not one of those pictures had a shitty tub of glue there. They all had precision poly or Revel Contactor. You know what I mean? Even the pictures they're putting up on Airfix, they had the poly cement, not the Revel Contactor in the pictures. Nobody uses that. So yeah, that's the only thing. PE, yeah, PE for pegs. Oh, so I was going to look at. It's true. I'm just back a minute. Who put that up there? Yeah, this is interesting. Would we agree helicopters are in short supply model-wise in all scales?
Yes.
Yeah,
Depends what you look at. Because there's a lot of Sea Kings that Airfix released because they've released
That's good.
4 different versions of the same kit.
Yeah, perfect.
But in every
Well,
other respect, well, actually, you say that. It depends where you look. Because I've got 2 different links with the Revel and the Academy one, and I'm getting the Airfix one as well. And that's 3. I've got a Black Hawk from Revel as well, and there's one other helicopter. 2 Sea King Smurf as well.
Yeah.
But there's so many. There's loads of kits you just got to look for them.
But
Yeah.
they're all
but
kind of aged tools mostly.
That's a fair point. I'll give you that.
Well, they did put out that new one, didn't they? Well, not new one. They did a Vintage Classic, didn't they? Which one was that they brought out? The Vintage Classic.
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind.
Whirlwind?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Whirlwind? Wasn't it? Yeah, they did that one.
I think it was.
The 148 Western Links. But I will say that when I went to the Creator Day, Matt will back me up on this. Luke did say he loves helicopters, so I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 or 3 years there will be a slight push for more helicopters because Luke likes his helicopters.
New tool Wildcat.
I think they'll new tool it. Yeah.
Wildcat helicopter.
Yeah. Or they could bring out the cam off again. That'd be a good
Or the
one.
Merlin.
The cam off. Or the Belvedere 192. That'd be a good one to bring out. Retool that one.
Yeah.
Taggers, I don't really looked at, but I don't know as many Junkers Ju-52s. They could do both military and civil schemes with that one. Who brought out a Junkers Ju-52 recently? Somebody did, didn't they?
They did. They used Civic quite a lot.
One.
Didn't Modelling Week teach either about one? Or was it Artillery? I can't remember. He did one, didn't he?
Yeah, who did the young girl? Well, I think that was Artillery, wasn't it?
It was big though, he said, didn't he? He said it was massive.
Ravel have one.
Revel have one, don't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 1980s tooling, though, isn't it? It's not a new tooling,
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
old.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, the E-Lightning would be a big kit, but then again, go big or go home, innit? How much bigger is the E-Lightning to the Hellcat? Because the Hellcat's quite stubby, isn't it? That's not
quite big.
Yeah.
If you compare that F105 was the same length as a B17. So the Thunder Chief was the same length as B17. So if you look at those jets, they're remarkably bigger than any World War plane like propeller plane.
Well, the jet engine is twice as long as a normal engine, isn't it? If you look at it.
Well, not only that. If you look at for instance, a Vampire, it's quite small compared to a Lightning and other planes. So I think that's also one of the reasons why they don't do 1 in 24 scale of those.
Yeah.
Maybe they do a few, but it'll be a massive kit.
So
I'll tell you what.
So we've got looking in the chat quickly, Fucking Wolf, Hawk T1, 0. It's coming on through. A 124 scale USS Enterprise. Yeah, all right then. Okay. But yeah, I think that's right. I think a Fucking Wolf 24 scale or Hawk T1 would be a good one in 24. If they wanted to do a modern thing, because the only modern one they've got really is the Harrier, isn't it? In 124 scale.
Oh, I like the Harrier.
Did you?
That's cool. I don't get it, but I love the airplane. Such a cool aircraft.
Yeah, Revel and Artillery have the Ju-52s because they shared the tooling for that when it was called Italiaria, when it had the extra letters in the name. Because I've got one of them in my stash, a Ju-52. How about retooling the Lightning to the export version, the one the Saudis had? That'd be a good shout. A 1-24 Lightning would be fantastic, but then the Hunter could be a good cause, especially if Switzerland and half of Europe and half of South America use them. That's what I'm wondering, whether they pick these, because I say, the Lightning will be big, but it's a super kit. That's the idea. So if it's a super kit, it's going to be fucking super. And if you have an E Lightning 124, you can't get much more super than that, can you?
Speaking of starter sets earlier. Going back to that conversation, sorry. What starter sets do you think we're going to get next year? Because they tend to release 2 a year, don't they? 2 or 3 a year. So what do you think we'll get next year? Because this year we had cars, last year we had planes. The year before that we had tanks, didn't we? So what do you think's coming this year?
What, for the starter sets?
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to bring out some more cars.
Do you think it's cars?
I think it's cars.
Well, I would have thought it'd be a 109 or an American thing.
Oh, I don't know. Good call though. How long? Yeah, so the Spitfire, the width of it is 469, so it'll be 40 millimeters wider than the Spitfire is in this one, because that's the measurements there. Length 397, and so there's an extra 30 cents. So another, it'll be just man alive. What's 7? So cool, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. Where's my tape measure gone? The size matters. Bloody hell, 70 crumbs. That's a big kit actually, isn't it? Yeah, that's 70's too big. Yeah, I'll get you them. So let's not do a lightning, but it'd be good if we did do a lightning. Just saying, an E lightning would be cool. What was I doing? Where's my mouse? Going down. Phantom sounds a good shout. But I don't know.
That'll be big though.
Yeah.
That would be quite big. They're quite a big aircraft.
A B-52 in 72nd scale. They wouldn't do it in 72nd scale, would they? B-52. They'll probably do it in 144.
Artillery have one, didn't they?
Yeah, there is one.
Yeah, but it's not small, is it?
No.
It's 172nd scale.
Yeah, but it's not small in comparison to everything.
Well, depends what you compare it to.
True.
Yeah.
But every other 172nd scale aircraft that you'll find, it'll be massive compared to.
I still have a P-50D 172nd scale upstairs.
There's a C-17 172nd coming up, isn't there?
Yeah, it's also quite big.
And I've got the VC-10. No.
The Westland Wessex.
That's cool.
Wetland Wessex is a good one.
There's plenty of those about. They could take a LiDAR map of where it is. Or a P-39.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool one.
I think I've just missed Matt. He's gone to bed. That's because he's tired. It's been a long day for him.
That's sad.
Robbie's saying fuck a Wolf 124. That'd be good. Hunting Jet Provence. That would be a good starter set they could do.
But they'd have to retool it because they keep releasing the starter set or the gift set for that, don't they?
Which is now due in Audi 24th of November. The starter sets come back into Audi 24th of November.
Yeah, I won't buy one. I've not even finished the one I bought last year. That's ready for airbrushing, but I just can't be asked.
Revel do plenty of helis too. I know they do, but they're all Matchbox ones, aren't they? Is that correct? They must do Matchbox tooling?
For what, sorry?
Yeah, Matchbox toolings are legit. I'm just saying, they're all really good.
Yeah.
Every Matchbox tooling I've built, I've never been disappointed with.
Eddie Birdie would love a Gazelle in 148.
Oh, that would be cool.
Good shout.
What about a Chinook in 148?
Neil says, nice helis coming from Tecum and Ming this year, so that'd be interesting. And then Scale Force Race said, don't buy the Rebel Longbow, it's terrible. It's the only kit I've been halfway through. Oh, right, then I won't buy that one then. Westland Wasp or Scout, a good one.
That would be good. I know plenty of places that have those as well.
Yeah. Is Kitty Hawk actually gone bust now? Or did nobody buy the tooling up from there? See, I don't know why Airfix don't do that sometimes. If a company like Kitty Hawk goes bust, just take the bloody tooling on. Because Kitty Hawk was hit and miss, wasn't it? By what I gathered. I've never built a Kitty Hawk, but what I've heard, some kits were out of this world, and some were borderline dog shit.
I imagine they're probably designed by different people then.
Yeah. Mrs. Smith off to bed. Western Wessex. HC2, my being from Northern Ireland. My granddad was a police officer during the Troubles. We should get helicopters flown out to Northern Ireland border, so I would see one. Oh, brilliant. That'd be cool. Teggers was talking on Discord. Apparently, the Airfix Matilda Hedgehog is very hard to get. Is it?
I swear they released that not too long ago.
They released that long ago, did they? Was it Vintage Classic?
Was it the Hedgehog or was that the Calliope? I can't remember.
Oh, the Calliope, yeah, that's what it was. Calliope, whoever it is, wasn't it? Yeah. The Calippo.
I mean, I think they're on eBay for between like 10 to 17 quid.
What's the
Matilda Hedgehog?
Yeah, I thought there was quite a few around. They're not that rare. I got one up in the stash, I think. Because that's the one with the is it the chains on the front? Is that right, the Hedgehog?
No, it's got like the Hedgehog on the back. It's like a mortar bomb sort of thing.
That's what I mean, yeah. It's not chain though, is it? It's like a roller, isn't it? Or is it chained? Did it flip?
No, I thought it was like artillery.
Yeah, it's the artillery version. The one with the... Oh. I know which one you're on about, though.
Yeah, the one with the chain. The
crab. Is it crab? Sherman crab?
Might be that one, yeah. Yeah.
It's with the flails on the front for mine clearance, isn't it?
Yeah, someone just asked, the flying hours is 4 because it's under £100. The Hellcat wasn't 100 quid, was it? It was a bit more than 100 quid, wasn't it? 120 quid? 120? That's why I would have 6. Yeah, it's roughly every 20 quid you get an extra flying hour, isn't it? I think starter sets are 1, skill level 2 with so many parts, or you spend like, I think the Concorde had 2 on it because it was like 28 quid for that one. It's about how much you pay for the kit is what it is. I'll probably sell a few. They'll probably sell a few 1 to 24 scale DH vampires if they did one. It's a good shout. That vampire.
Because there's loads of different stuff you can have for it.
So what did Airfix do? 124 then? Let's think about it. They did the Spitfire, a Hurricane, Fucker Wolf. Hellcat. They've done a Fucker Wolf, haven't they? The Harrier.
You know what they are, Drew?
Not me, just going on scale, mates.
They're P51, aren't they? They're due a P51 soon.
Oh,
or a P40.
That is a good shout.
You know what though? Airfix are due a P47 tooling soon, I reckon.
Yeah.
Harrier, Sea Harrier, Typhoon.
I reckon there'll be a Sea Harrier tooling soon. Not Sea Harrier. P47 Thunderbolt.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
But we still don't know what's coming next year, do we? Because that'll be announced, I reckon, February.
The Mosquito was 124, wasn't it?
Yep.
Mosquito. Was it?
So there's Spitfire, Mosquito, Stuka, P51, BF109, Harrier, the Harrier, Hawk Hurricane.
Yeah. Messerschmitt BF109, Spitfire Mark 1, Hurricane Mark 1, Typhoon.
And then lots and lots of cars that I know nothing about.
No, them cars are
conversation every week, didn't we?
There was all helicars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah. It was mostly helicars, all them. Yeah, I'm just looking now. Yeah, the Sydney Harrier, the Sea Harrier. That's right. They did a T Harrier as a gift set, didn't they? As a 1/24 scale, came with all the paints. The latest one they did was the Typhoon car door, wasn't it? Which was it had new decals in it, but it was new parts from 2016. They did a Stuka, didn't they? 1/24 scale, which was released back in 2011. Good scale, mates. So the Stuka, the measure split BF 109. And they've done a Mustang, didn't they? 1/24 scale Mustang. They've done quite a few of them actually, different releases. Then the Spitfire, the new Spitfire. Oh yeah, the James Bond Auto Gyro was 1/24 scale, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, was it?
They did
Yeah,
that as a starter set. They did that Auto Gyro as a starter set. Fuck it now.
What, 1/24? That's bold.
I never knew that. I've always wanted to build that kit. If anyone's got one in their stand they want to sell me, let me know and I'll swap it, or I'll buy it off you, I'll give you a kit or something, I'll swap it for a kit or something. Like, you know, I've got enough sprues here to create another Spitfire Mark 9 if anybody wants it. I just seen Model Magic's in the chat, nice to see my friends. Little Nelly was 1/24 scale, yeah. The Airfix Chipmunk 1/48 scale is £18 on Amazon at the moment. So, what was it? What was that launch price? 28 quid, wasn't it? Chipmunk.
What, the 148?
Yeah, the Chipmunk. The new
Yeah,
one.
I think it was around that. £28 sounds about right.
18 quid now.
It's not the one true scale, so I do not know.
You do not know, not the one true scale.
My books it looked good.
The Fokker Wolf has been discontinued for years. It says here for Airfix. Yeah, but
Then why don't they make a P40?
yeah. When was the last time they released that Fokker Wolf then? No, it's not too bad. 2013. So the last time they released the 24th scale was 2013 with new decals. So it hasn't been that discontinued. We've done the Hellcat, haven't we? We've done the Hellcat. So
What about BF 110 then? Why don't they make one of those?
They'll bring one out, won't they? What was the difference between the 109 and the 110 then, Hamish? Enlighten me.
No, the 110 had 2 engines. And that's kind of like the major difference.
That's it, is it?
But there's quite a few others, but that's like the biggest telltale between a 110 and a 109.
I can't remember.
Well,
so I don't know my German planes. I'm crap at German planes. Give me English any day of the week, but I'm never into. I know my Messerschmitts. Well, Sully taught me a lot of Messerschmitts anyway. Do you know what I mean?
I just pick stuff up about them. I don't know where it comes from. It just comes from
the Fokker Wolf. I don't know much about. Messerschmitt 109. I know loads about now because Sully keeps telling me about it.
Good old Sully.
The 110 2 engines. Yeah, just trying to look at it now. Oh, actually, I got it here now. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a big difference.
So I never built German when I was younger. Never did. It was all English stuff. No, when I was growing up, it was most English. When I was growing up,
One of the first things I ever built was German.
Well, actually, my first real love was space stuff, wasn't it? Building all the space models was my first love. Yeah. The new 120 Mark 8 is only 180 Australian dollars, which is actually cheaper than some of the others in the range. Yeah, I get that. Does anyone know if you get the 172 Eurofighter Typhoon for less than 25 quid? They're cheap on Amazon. Yeah. We're just looking for them now. They've got quite a few, haven't they? The 190, the BF 109. So what was the Messerschmitt 410? I thought is that a twin engine?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a
That's
late
good.
one.
That's what I was thinking when you said the BF 10, the 110. I was thinking of the 410. That's twin
Yeah,
engine.
You
that's
also
not
have
a
the
mistake.
210.
There's a JU88 as well, and the Heinkel 111.
The 210,
That's
also known as the flying coffin, because it was such a damn
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the DO17 as well, which is the flying pencil. Is it a flying pencil?
Mm. I
You
reckon
just
they could
unlock
bring out.
Pandora's box of planes, Miles.
Yeah. I honestly, there was never one for. I was never one for building German stuff. Or say that I did build a BMW when I was a kid, and a Merc when I was a kid, but that wasn't
the
Airfix
Porsche Tiger?
seller. No. What was the BMW I built? Was that Heller? I built BMW when I was younger, but when it comes to planes, it never interested me. It was always the English stuff. I did more Spitfires, Hurricanes. Did my first Lightning when I was 18.
Sully won't be very happy with that.
I know. You know.
Everybody got the problem, right?
I did a few times. I did a car. I did all the space stuff. Love doing the space stuff.
What, like fake or real? Well, not fake, but you know what I mean, fictional.
All the fictional stuff. It didn't matter, did it? You know, it didn't matter.
Yeah. It's what you wanted to build, so you built it.
Yeah, that's it. You know, the Rovers and stuff like that. That was a good one. But yeah, I just never got around to building much German stuff. So I am quite blasé about what I know about it. I know more about the engine.
Japanese, then? Do you know much about the Japanese stuff?
Yeah, I did quite a bit of Japanese. I can say did a bit. Obviously the Zero.
Oh yeah. Who hasn't built a Zero? Me.
Yeah.
Me.
I did a lot of Russian as well. I did a lot of the MiGs.
I haven't done much Russian stuff, to be honest. I'd like to do some more.
Yeah.
I've done an I-16, that's it. But there's not much Russian stuff about on the British market that you can easily get your hands on.
I've got a few, but no British market, of course.
Yeah. I did a few Mustangs growing up. You know, the F-16, I've done a few of them. Just trying to think of kits, you know.
Maybe an Airfix F-16.
Yeah. No, it was the Rebel one I think I built on it, F-16.
No, you still need an Airfix one though.
Yeah. Concorde I've done. The Rebel one.
Yeah.
And I did 3 or 4 Avengers when I was a kid because Frog did a really good Avenger, didn't they, for a while? Did that one. There's also a Frog Bearcat, which I've got 2 of, which I haven't started building yet.
Oh, Bearcat.
That's what I think of, yeah. I did an Airfix 4-stroke engine once before. I've got another one on the shelf actually, which is already part built. I did that. Yeah, no, German stuff wasn't really my thing. Going back.
Never too late to start.
Whereas as a kid, I only built Italian and French stuff.
Yeah, you said
Italian.
that.
That's
Yeah,
some unique stuff.
I don't think I really built any British stuff as a kid.
No, something's wrong with
I
you.
didn't build anything as a kid.
I mean, the first model I ever did was like a Spitfire with my dad, but then other than that, like whenever I went to a model shop, I'd always buy Italian or French stuff.
Your dad must have thought you were a bit weird.
He still thinks I'm a bit weird.
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah. fair play. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I don't really care. Because that's why I bought that measurement 2 and 2. I've never built one.
262. Oh yeah, I like the 262. They're quite cool.
Built that one, did you?
I've got one. I've not built it yet. Let's wait until I develop my airbrushing skills a bit more.
You've built that one,
I've got
haven't
a
you,
few.
Lexi?
I also got a Night Fighter one.
What, the ME262A?
The Night Fighter version, the 2-seat one.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to think what other things German have done. That's it, really.
Oh, they got a lot. They got the Stukas, they got the Dornier 335. They got some different Heinkels.
Hmm.
I like them. What Heinkels?
Well, that salamander type thingy, that 162.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one.
That's I got that one. You got some strange prototype Messerschmitt ones. You got a lot of German planes.
An ME262 124, that'd be a big one. Oh, James, LPJ Models is in the chat with his girlfriend, Sophie. Hello, how are you? Missed you today, mate. You could have gone over back in the day if you'd come down to my place. The 110 was a twin engine fighter, night fighter. The 410 was a twin engine heavy fighter developed from the 210. Right, okay.
Same with the JU288, isn't it? That's developed off the JU88.
Oh, bless. Sophie's done one of the quick builds, the Audi RS8. Yeah, we've all done that one. I just built this one this week. I've got the video up for it now, but the new Jeep that they've done. That's the new Jeep. That was quite a bit.
Those Quickmans must be doing quite better than I thought they were. They're still getting.
Oh yeah.
Still making new ones.
Mm.
I didn't realise they were doing quite so well.
If you don't listen to Mr. LPJ Models' advice about paintbrushes, don't worry. You know, this man, he knows his shit about paint. Ask him about pigments. He'll be there for 12 hours. Someone's selling the new Spit for 125 quid. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's cheeky.
Mm.
That doesn't shock me. I mean, just after they released the ambulance, I remember going to a model show and someone was selling it for like above what they were selling it for on their site, and people were buying it, and it baffled me. Was it less? Was it much stock left or not? Say again.
Was there not a lot of stock of them Katie's at first? Then was it? So people were buying it for dearer?
I don't know. I think there was no issue with that. It just seems to be like people will just order them. Like I remember overhearing the guy saying like, "Oh yeah, I just ordered 3 of them and thought I'd sell them at shows." It's like, but why? And I guess like obviously they're making money from it, but I just don't get why people aren't just buying them online or somewhere.
Well, the best thing to do for selling stuff at shows, what I've seen, is buy older kits, and then people are more likely to buy those because you don't see them very often. I myself am a bit of a sucker for older kits because it's usually it's interesting stuff you don't see.
LPJ models. I was surprised with the interior of the Audi. Yeah, some of them are really good. Some of them. I just wish they did decals as well as stickers, because as you can see the stickers on here. Can you see that they're starting to bubble up because of the heat? They've been here. They're not the best the stickers, but they are good fun to build. I enjoy building my quick builds and filming them just for the crack. Even underneath, look at the detail underneath. Pretty good bit of kit, really good bit of fun.
In my old job, I used to build the quick bits whilst I was at work. When I was just sat waiting to do stuff, I just sit there doing quick builds. Back when I had just a call centre job.
That's a boring show. I'd hate to do a call centre job. No offence. But Just couldn't see myself doing that for a living.
No, I couldn't either. It takes a lot to be a course, and the grief you get.
I get bored.
Yeah.
Just get bored. So easy.
Yeah. Modern Magic, I have a modelling competition which is less than a week away. Or what you handing in, mate? What are you going to do for the competition? So anyway, 3D printer, they have sent me the software now. So I'm going to download it tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. And if it works, I might just keep it. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't, it's going back this week.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
That's
how
what-
long you held out of it, to be fair. You've given them a lot of chance.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm a sucker for.
Are you
Humble,
keeping it
aren't
due to the name Airfix? Could be.
I don't think Airfix would have put their name on that. Would have put their name on that at all. I don't think it's the Humble guys' fault. I think it's higher above. I think they're telling them what to do. They're looking at something and saying, "We need to do this. You need to do that." That's what they've been told to do. But if your heart's not in it, you know. Honestly, don't take the piss. The software.
How many do you
makes
have now?
The software makes it so you can do 2 pegs at a time rather than one.
Oh, so
There
you
can't be
bumped
enough
up your
pegs.
factory.
Yeah, crumbs. Definitely, it'll be a strange one. Might put that box away. Yeah, I need to. I'll get it up and running, and let's see if it doesn't work. It will go back. If it does work, then we'll be onto a winner.
I'm just really curious what their sales have been like for it.
I would love to know. Well, I'm not going to mention any names, but when I was mentioning it up there, a couple of them in red shirts said, "Are you the only one that's probably the only one that's bought one?"
Lol.
I haven't seen, unless I'm mistaken, I've not seen anybody else do a review on it yet. Perhaps they're waiting for the software like I am. And the thing
I'm
is,
waiting
though,
for you to do a review because I know you'd do it.
yeah, and also, Airfix magazine was there. They didn't even know anything about it.
Well, it's not been advertised on anything, has it? There's been no palaver about it at all. It's really, really odd. Like the other day when
just a
we were
strange
trying to
guy
look on
on
the
YouTube.
website for it, and none of us could find it. It's bizarre.
Yeah. And then why they got you to do a peg, I don't know. But then again, like they keep telling me, Homebrew is not just for scale modelers. It's for the craft sector. But then a scale modeler will say, well, why should I invest in Homebrew when it's not even designed or used for the scale modeler? Do you know what I mean? It's such a tricky thing to get into, isn't it?
Wait, they say it's for the craft section, not just
For the modeler, yeah.
what?
That 3D printer has nothing to do with scale modeling.
That came out sincere.
They want to
Mid-modeler.
aim. Lexi, are you looking in the chat at the minute?
Yeah.
You see what Sophie's written?
That's one build with nails that long. Easy. You just get used to it.
Get used to it.
Plus, that's what tweezers are for.
That's right. I'm surprised you've not you've got 2 nails all like filed down at little stubs at the end, just so that you can use them as tweezers.
And look, they're Christmas nails now.
Did you do them yourself, or did you just go into a shop?
Nah, I went to the salon today.
Mm.
So they're all Christmassy.
But no, it'll be interesting. You know, they're not designed. They're saying that they're trying to boost Humbro to be in the craft market, not just the scale modeling market. Which I think is a bad way.
The The only things I know that anyone uses Humbrol for, other than craft, are there are a few artists who do like actual canvas painting with Humbrol enamels. But other than that, I've never heard of them being in anything other than
No.
modelling, whether it's trains or
But
obviously plastic.
if they're
kits, I
reaching
don't
out,
think
if
I've
they're
heard
trying
of
to do out of modelling, why are all the paints to do with like planes? They're all like not planes necessarily, but they're all military sort of colours.
I just don't really get what they're going for. If they're going for crafting, like all their products are modelling products.
Yeah.
It just seems very weird.
Yeah, where would you use Masco to on an oil painting? Or on a can, or where, you know, see, craft is such a weird subject matter anyway, because, you know, what is craft? You know, are you going to be selling modelling clay so that the crafters who like to make their own cups and saucers, they're not going to do that,
But
are
even
they?
that'll be bought by scale modelers.
Like, I understand the logic of going for that market and being a general like producer of things, but it's just like they're not right now.
Yeah.
Like at all.
It's, well, like, you know, I just find it, but they say that there's not a lot of interaction between Airfix and Humbrol. It's like its own separate brand, and they piggyback off Airfix, or Airfix piggybacking off them for the paints and accessories. But, you know, I'm going to do a video this week because this was the original tool set from Humbrol. You see that? This was the original tool set from Humbrol.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
About 14 quid they were. So you get a file, a cheap pair of tweezers, some really crap sprue cutters, and a knife. The new ones are these. You're going to love this. This is the new set. These are the new ones. They call them the kit construction tools, right? And what you get in it, you're going to love this, because I couldn't believe it when I saw it. They're only 11 quid, by the way. You get in here. Do you remember Italy and their sprue cutters, Hamish, that I did a review on?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, the blue-handled ones.
Yeah.
When you tried to cut sprue, all it did was flatten the sprue and actually cut through. They've put those. Yeah, they put those in here now. You've got these really bad, and I promise you. Let me find some sprue. Here is some sprue. Let's try and cut it, shall we? Ah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Where's that other bit of sprue I had? That's from a. That's not a sprue. That's from a. What's it called? Kit. Hang on. Where's that sprue? There you go. Let's get some sprue. Ah. All right. There you go. Ah, sprue. Let's cut sprue with them, shall we? That's a good bit. Let's try and cut sprue. So you get in there, push it down. Oh, these are a real proper point.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
A definition of suboptimal.
It's squishing it to cut it rather than actually just cutting through it. Yeah,
squishing it to cut it. Yeah. So look at that. It's got like a proper V-shaped cut.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get my Voltron ones, Volcan ones, and you do it, there you go, flat and flat.
I mean, even
flat
my really cheap ones off Amazon do a better job.
Yeah.
It's completely flat as well, and this is a really shitty plastic to cut as well.
So I go in here and do a squeeze.
That's appalling.
You can see that. Look at that. It's like you leaves it with a V shape.
There's just no excuse for it. Like
No.
this was bloody like £5 for two of them or something ridiculous.
If you want to know a really cheap set of sprue cutters on Amazon, are these? You see them?
I have some of them somewhere. Or
These are good for what they are. They're
Those
sharp.
the ones I use.
Yeah, watch that. Look at that. See, that's got
Need a new
there.
pair though.
There you go. See that square and square on that one.
I need a new pair. Mine's broken a bit now.
Yeah, but these are cheap as chips. I buy these for people to put in their kit, so they got something. But so you got these. So you got these in the kit. These ones here. You get given a packet, another cheap. Well, they're not too bad, but they've given you these tweezers, okay, which I don't think I think they're too wide. The ones you need are these ones with the with the straight. These have got the fat ends on them. Can you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're too clumsy for doing close-up work. If you're putting like a column in or something, that's the ones you want of these. They're the better ones. All right. So they're in there. They give you a file. Which who uses the file? Do you use a file? I don't use a file.
I do. Depends on what.
But what they could do is give them a sanding stick with a 600 and a 100 grit. Not these, take. So you got the 600, 100, 1000 grit. Sorry, put one of them in the kit, and then give you 1, 2, 3, 7 wooden sticks for stirring.
Quite a few.
Well,
Why give you wood?
Why give you
What they should do? What they should put in there? I'll tell you what they should put in there. If they were going to do it properly, this is what I would put in there. I would put a decent pair of sprue cutters like these. A pair of these with the straight that you use it for decals as well as putting gluing your parts in. One of these sanding pads. I would put in the Humbrol tape, a 6mm Humbrol tape, and I would also put in 4 of these clamps. That would make the perfect starter set, in my honest opinion.
I don't understand the mixing sticks, especially because if they're trying to encourage you to buy Humbrol paints, which at the moment obviously they're pushing more for acrylics, then that's kind of useless.
Yeah.
Well, you say that it's a good idea to mix your paints before you use it.
But you can't with
give
their
them acrylics.
bottles because they're dropper bottles.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But as with the starter set paints though.
But I'd argue if you're buying this tool set, you're not using the starter set paints anymore. You're probably buying your own paints. So what's the point?
Well, I was thinking of if they redid this starter kit construction tool set, a starter construction toolkit. That's what I was going to go for. But yeah, I thought, nah, this ain't right. That's what I would put in. So I'm going to do a video about that this week, giving some ideas how to improve. But putting stirring sticks in there is just waste of bloody time, especially when you get them free from McDonald's. That's what I do. I buy my stirring sticks from McDonald's. Well, don't buy them. I acquire them from
liberate them
from
liberate them. Yeah. Free sticks.
I might start liberating them from McDonald's.
Yeah, they're good because you can cut them in half as well, and they've got that look about them as well. They do stir quite well. Quite good.
Well, they are called stirrers, so you'd hope they stir well.
Yeah, okay. Fuck off.
They were designed to stir.
I mean, it is kind of hard to fuck up a stick, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at these,
Even a cocktail stick works for stirring.
Yeah, I use them as for stirring.
That's what I used to use when I used the enamels.
Yeah.
Even for
That's what I would put. That's what I would put in my set if I was going to do one. Just saying. I'd put some masking tape in as well. And that'll be it. If you little set there, it's much easier Hunter it to a while to get used to scrapers, but they are good. I cause less damage by scrape. See, do you? I've heard that before. People scrape. I've never scraped. I've always sanded.
I
Right,
scrape
the
them.
seam lines or
Mm.
the seam lines.
I
So I
do both.
scrape and they go away quite nicely, but
Yeah.
I do a bit both. Depends on how much there is to get off. So there's
Yeah.
quite a lot I'll scrape, but not scrape. Sorry, I'll sand. But if there's not much, I'll scrape.
It's a fair statement. Yeah, that's a fair shout. That scrape instead of. But I'm going to do a video on these because the old one was a lot better, but those sprue cutters were crap. That's the old one. That's the new one. I don't bother. I just don't think he wouldn't. As a starter, I wouldn't give him a file. I'll give him a sanding stick.
They do the same job.
Apparently, 50s bin man questions, folks. I am building a Merc AMG SLS. What color do I paint it? Seems like no color is out of bounds. Silver. Paint it silver. I like Merc.
That's a very Mercedes color.
Mm.
Or German style tank camouflage, because Mercedes seem to like that kind of thing.
Mm. Yeah. Right, I think that's it for this evening. And we're going for nearly 2 hours again. Crumbs, doesn't the time go quick?
Yeah.
We've had
time
48 in
flies
the chat. If you could leave a like on the channel, please leave a like. And if you could, in the description are links to the channels. So if you can go over to the channels that are here and give them a like, give them a share and show them some love too, that'd be brilliant. I've got nothing much else to say. I actually because I was up at 4 o'clock this morning. Well, I got up at 2:45, left the house at 4, drove to New Haven, which is near Worthing, which was 3.5 hours. Got there for 7:30, and then had some breakfast with the lads. Then went to the thing at 10 o'clock, and then that finished at 2:30. And then drove all the way back to where I live, which was 4 hours down the M5. It was longer there. It was longer back because the Salisbury plane was just absolutely rammed when I got there. And then I grabbed some McDonald's on the way home and ate that with the missus. Gave the dog a stroke. I hadn't seen him all day. And then went and saw the chicks, see if they're growing a little bit more, and then opened up the link and started doing this live stream. So I've been up for a bit of a while now, so I'm a bit tired.
Efficient
I have to
day.
go to bed. Yeah. But anyway, thanks all for joining us. Thank you, chat, for commenting. Is that a hair kit? Is it, Lexi?
Yep. The
What are you
406.
doing again? The Moran 406. Brilliant. Right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Monday. And hopefully Sully will be back, and we'll get some
The rest
more.
of the gang.
Thanks all. Yeah. And next Monday we'll go on about models for heroes. I think we need to do a bit more with them. Anyway, thanks all for watching, and we'll see you next week. Cheers all, and bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.